I learned more from travel and experience. It was a lower middle class upbringing, an area that wasn't privileged at all.
Robert Redford shot to fame after performing in The Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and later shining in Out of Africa. The Hollywood legend is well known for his performances on the screen, but he has more to him than just his acting.
The script was always considered to be not rooted in cement. Even before it was written, it had to be fairly elastic.
So what else is to him than his high-profile career? And how did this Hollywood mogul accrue this massive wealth? In a shocking turn of event, Robert Redford leaves behind a fortune that makes his family cry. Robert Redford's early life. For those who came of age in the 1970s, Robert Redford was synonymous with the word handsome. This excellent mix of actor, director, and producer was so much more than just the good looks. He was a commanding screen presence whose good looks belied his many attributes, which, over time, he presented with generous abundance that has earned him his wealth. But it didn't all start on a bed of roses. Born Charles Robert Redford Jr. on August 18, 1936, in a multicultural neighborhood in Santa Monica, California, actor and director Robert Redford has proven to be one of the great talents in American film. Redford's father was a milkman who later worked as an oil company accountant, an indication of where Redford inherited his versatility. Also, his outgoing mother had a passion for literature and films. Taking after his uncle, Redford excelled at sports during his youth, running track and playing tennis and football while also having a robust romantic life. In other arenas, however, Redford said he floundered. He confessed that he was actually a failure at everything he tried. He worked as a box boy at a supermarket and got fired. Then his dad got him a job at Standard Oil and he was fired again. Keeping a job wasn't the only thing Redford struggled with. He also had a few run-ins with the law for purloining hubcaps and sneaking onto other people's property to use their pools. In 1954, Redford graduated from Van Nuys High School. A year later, Redford would experience an immeasurable loss. His beloved mother died from septicemia, and a deeply grieving Redford felt lost emotionally. Driven by pain and immeasurable loss, Redford won a baseball scholarship to the University of Colorado. But not much changed with the man. He may have waved goodbye to the criminal life as he entered his late teens following a run-in with the police, but that didn't mean he was ready to become an upstanding member of society. Indeed, while attending the University of Colorado, the future star built quite the party boy reputation. He became the campus drunk and blew out before he could ever get going. Some reports say he dropped out, while others say that Redford was expelled from the university. The truth later came out in his 2011 book, Robert Redford, the biography. Michael Callan Feeney wrote, Redford had become beloved in the drinking circles but was regarded as a loose cannon. The author doesn't mention exactly what went down in the Kappa Sigma fraternity that a young Redford belonged to, but it was revealed that he was kicked out of the college after just 18 months. Exactly what he did wasn't revealed. That only adds a further mystery to Redford's early life. In either case, he soon decided to move to Europe and become an artist. His time overseas was an eye-opening experience for the young Redford, who lived the life of a bohemian and learned about art, culture, and international affairs. Redford's interactions with students in Paris proved to be very significant. We all lived in a kind of communal way, and I was challenged politically. I didn't have a clue, he said in a 2007. Redford revealed that they would ask him questions about the Algerian War that was going on in the late 1950s, and he would have no clue what to say about a topic that was quite popular back then. This lack of political knowledge left Redford feeling humiliated. He was so ashamed that he didn't know much about his country's politics. When he returned to America a year and a half later, he was much more focused on his country culturally and politically. From a boy who lost his mother to a man whose eyes were opened in Europe, how did these changes propel him to success? Let's find out. Robert Redford's early career. After returning to the United States, Redford, now a changed and committed man, pursued further knowledge at the Pratt Institute and then the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, effectively switching from design to acting. He first appeared on Broadway in the 1959 comedy Tall Story, followed by The Highest Tree later that year. He landed a substantial part in the 1960 drama Little Moon of Alban with Julie Harris, and then co-starred with Conrad Janis in another humorous outing, 1961's Sunday in the Park. Although he performed admirably in these roles, they didn't bring forth the successes he had hoped for. His biggest breakthrough came in 1963 with a leading role in Neil Simon's Barefoot in the Park, directed by Mike Nichols. In the romantic comedy, Redford played Paul Bratter, a newlywed lawyer who establishes a Greenwich Village home with his wife Corey, a character that was portrayed by Elizabeth Ashley. This quickly catapulted Redford's reputation, and he'll go on to be a part of even greater projects. Redford did a good amount of TV work for a time and making his big screen debut in 1962's War Hunt. Still, the actor's film career didn't really take off until 1967, when he reprised his stage role as Paul in the film adaptation of Barefoot in the Park, opposite Jane Fonda. Redford then gave an iconic star-making performance in the 1969 Western Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. In the film, he played the outlaw known as the Sundance Kid, while co-star Paul Newman portrayed Butch Cassidy. The two proved to be a dynamic duo on screen and forged a lasting friendship, with the movie enjoying both critical and commercial success. Not one to be typecast as a pretty boy, and quite particular about the tone of his projects, Redford sought out more challenging fare and avoided trading on his physical appeals. He tackled the sports drama Downhill Racer and the Western Tell Them Willie Boy Is Here, both released in 1969. Another important film for Redford was the 1972 political drama The Candidate, a dark, satirical look at campaigning. Redford had a banner year in 1973 with two major hit films, The Way We Were and The Sting. In Sidney Pollack's Way We Were, Redford starred opposite Barbra Streisand in a drama that charts the ups and downs of one couple's relationship. For The Sting, Redford again joined forces with Newman to play con artists in 1930s Chicago. Redford received his first Academy Award nomination for the film. The middle of the decade saw the actor starring with Mia Farrow in the 1974 adaptation of The Great Gatsby, and then teaming up with Faye Dunaway in the 1975 CIA thriller 3 Days of the Condor, also directed by Pollack. Redford returned to political fare and scored another success with 1976's All the President's Men. He and Dustin Hoffman played reporters Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein in an acclaimed drama about the Watergate scandal. So how did Redford move from a movie idol to a genius producer and director? Stay tuned and find out. Robert Redford, a visionary behind the camera. Despite his successes as an actor, Robert Redford changed career from acting to directing, a decision that surprised many of his fans. This transition was motivated by the need to have full creative input, to embark on a new challenge as well as passion for storytelling. Redford as an actor already had his brand in Hollywood, so taking up the role would cement his place in the industry. That desire for self-expression was one of the main things that led Redford to move towards directing. The other reason that contributed to Redford's decision to direct is the result of his partnerships with great directors such as Sidney Pollack and Michelangelo Antonioni. This allowed him to work with these cinematic masters, what gave him motivation to step behind the camera. Redford also enjoys the kind of impact connected with directing strategies that are informed by themes and characters, factors that are key to defining the success of a movie. One of Redford's very first forays into production was directing the drama Ordinary People in 1980. This deeply touching melodrama dedicated to the problems within family relationships won 4 Oscar nominations, including the nomination for Best Director. Redford's unique approach to telling this story, as well as his guidance of the characters, marked him as a good director. The film generated over $50 million in theaters, and Redford, who directed the picture, received approximately $2 million. It was this success that paved the way into his careers in directing and also producing. Following the success of Ordinary People, Redford went on to establish the Sundance Institute a year later. As a nonprofit organization, the primary purpose of the establishment was to serve independent filmmakers. 4 years later, the Sundance Film Festival came into life to act as a stage for young artists to present their projects. The Sundance Film Festival has since grown to become one of the biggest and most significant independent movie event in the United States. At Sundance, Redford has helped to create careers for innumerable directors and producers, from Tarantino to Nolan and Duvernay. This tendency to foster young talents has served as one of the main motivations for Redford's work and production. Some of the films that Redford has produced are highly praised in the filmmaking industry. Redford also directed The Motorcycle Diaries in 2004, a drama based on Che Guevara's life that garnered several recognition. Wildwood Enterprises, Redford's company, financed the production, which earned more than $16 million. The success led to other productions like A River Runs Through It in 1992 and Quiz Show in 1994. Besides being critically acclaimed, the series of films that Redford produced has also made significant financial successes. Quiz Show got 4 Oscars and also earned Redford over nearly $3 million. A River Runs Through It, which starred Brad Pitt, earned Redford around $5 million. Redford's earnings were further boosted by the historical epic miniseries The Way West in 1995, which Redford pocketed close to $2 million. From his directing and producing, Redford has earned close to $20 million. However, his true evaluation is not limited in terms of money-making, but also in terms of social and cultural contributions. Through Sundance's labs, workshops, and grants, he has provided opportunities for fresh talent, used film to promote environmental and social justice issues, and helped young filmmakers fulfill their dreams. Now, as his career coming to an end, few people can doubt that Robert Redford has had an indelible effect on the movie business. Robert Redford has done a lot to the film industry, especially working behind the scenes. Redford has been a steadfast filmmaker since his directorial debut on Ordinary People. Through Rosemont and other producing projects and the founding of the Sundance Institute, he proved his commitment to the craft. This commitment has made him one of the wealthiest actor and producer in the industry, a legacy of wealth and philanthropy. The actor, director, and environmental activist Robert Redford is believed to be worth $170 million. One of Redford's real estate investments is the Sundance Mountain Resort in Utah, which was purchased through Sundance in 1968. It is an attractive resort which spans over 5,000 acres with luxury amenities and services, which has become a haven for outdoor enthusiasts and nature lovers. With its stunning views, diverse wildlife, and range of outdoor activities, the resort is designed with everyone in mind and currently said to be worth about $50 million. Besides Sundance, Redford has other properties in California and New York, including a Malibu beach house estimated to be worth $20 million and a Manhattan apartment estimated at $10 million. These are some of the astute investments that have boosted his overall net worth. Redford also seems like quite an art lover, and as expected, his collection is quite impressive, boasting names like Ansel Adams, Georgia O'Keeffe, Pablo Picasso. The collection is estimated to worth within $10 million, and in addition to the portrayal of his love for art, Redford's refined and sophisticated aesthetic also highlights his interest in cultural conservation. This love for art is also reflected in his standing on issues concerning art education, advocating for the promotion of arts and creativity in general. Redford investments also involved profitable business ventures. Sundance Catalog Company, which operates as a mail-order catalog, also sell rustic, artisanal goods that are inspired by the resort's natural surroundings, along with merchandise crafted by artists. Redford has also given his wealth to several charitable organizations, which major in environmental issues, arts and learning, and social causes. He has given to charities such as the Natural Resources Defense Council, Sierra Club, which cater to environmental issues. His passion for arts and learning is explained by his support for institutions such as Sundance Institute and the Los Angeles County Museum of Art. Redford has also embraced Native American causes and has donated to the American Indian College Fund, among other bodies. Robert Redford's worth of $170 million can be attributed to his career, investments, and perhaps philanthropy. Even as he remains one of the richest actors of all time, Redford's legacy goes beyond Hollywood. His passion for the arts and the environment transformed him into an icon for anyone fighting for a better future. Robert Redford's legacy and inheritance. As Robert Redford's outstanding, successful career winds up, the influence goes beyond his rich portfolio. The legendary actor, director, and environmentalist has organized his legacy in a way that will guide those who are to come. What has become the most important aspect of Redford's lineage is his family, with the potential to not only continue to reap the benefits that stem from his business, but also from his principles of sustainability and altruism. Shauna Redford, his daughter, had already continued his legacy as a philanthropist and a voter for the Native Americans. His grandchildren will also get into his will and be provided for by a portion of his estate in terms of schooling and other welfare. There's also the Sundance Institute that Redford established to help independent filmmakers. This nonprofit organization has nurtured and enabled the works of thousands of the next generation of directors and playwrights, and given visibility to work that may otherwise be labeled as subversive. Redford's estate will stay intact in funding Sundance, which will keep its mission going. Redford has not only supported emerging great artists, but also been an advocate for social justice. Another essential part of Redford's acting career is, without a doubt, his environmental activism. For many years, he's been campaigning for the protection of natural resources, donating to the Natural Resources Defense Council and to the Sierra Club. The instinct to preserve the polar bear, the American grizzly, national parks, and wildlife reserves has awakened a generation of environmentalists. Such commitment to environmental sustainability is reflected in his filmmaking career, as he has embraced social and environmental causes. The effects of Redford on the film industry cannot be measured in any lesser terms than those used in defining his impact on acting. A progressive humanist, Redford has been influential in setting the tone and direction of social and environmental processes that influence society and policymaking. Sundance over time turned to the cultural epicenter for artists, boasting the freshest talents and the highest degrees of diversity. It's hard to believe that someone as successful as Redford would have a regret so huge he kept it secret for decades. The truth is that before Robert Redford was a celebrated Hollywood actor, he was just a restless kid in Los Angeles who allegedly stole beer for all-night drinking parties and was a member of a high school gang. However, the Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid star said it was his mother, Martha Hart, who encouraged him to change his life for the better. It was his mother who created the ultimate spark that led to the successful Redford we're familiar with today. An emotional Redford told audiences at the Sundance Film Festival Utah Women's Leadership Celebration that growing up, he had a lot of criticism, but only few people supported him. He added that his mother's support and love for him created a bond that stayed with him since he was a carefree child up until now. This bond has created the connection he feels towards women. While everyone else gave up on Redford, his mother kept faith in him. She believed that all things considered, she just had faith that he had something in him that was going to turn out okay. The actor described his mother as the strong member of the family who always had a smile and was very, very adventurous. She came from Texas, and she carried that kind of robust, jocular goodwill, he said. She saw things in a positive light. Despite her support and love, Redford's mother didn't live to see her son achieve international success as a movie star, filmmaker, and philanthropist. She died at the young age of 40. Redford was only 18 at the time. Redford's legacy has been built not just for himself, but also as a tribute to his mother. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Also check out another interesting video by clicking on the video shown on your screen. See you on the other side.